Hi, my name is Paul, and today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to get the VDK server, also called the control plane, running on your local machine with VDK Quick Start. Okay, so before we talk about how to get the control plane running on your local machine, I just want to give a brief review of what the control plane does. VDK can be used without the control plane to write and execute jobs on your local machine. However, the control plane is a must if you want to use VDK at scale or in production. The control plane lets us deploy our jobs to Kubernetes clusters, and after this, it lets us observe them, see how much failures, how many successes, and how long each job is taking, etc., and see how much resources jobs are using, that kind of information about jobs. We're going to go through some of these features today, and hopefully after this, people will feel comfortable spinning up their own control plane and playing around with it. So we're going to be using this tutorial as a guide on the steps to take. So the prerequisites to getting this running are setting up the Helm, Docker, and Kind. This is needed because the control plane that we install will run on Kubernetes. I'm not going to go ahead through how to install these because it's just standards for each operating system, and it would waste too much time. After you've installed all these, you then need to install VDK Quick Start. After you've installed VDK Quick Start, you then need to run VDK server install. This will install the control plane, create a new Kubernetes cluster on your local machine, and install the control plane. So that's what I'm going to do now. So that will take a few minutes to run. Okay, so now our VDK server install is completed. So now if we follow the links in the logs, we can see the UI for VDK Quick Start, VDK UI. Here we can see the Manage Data Job screen and the Get Started screen. Obviously, we have no jobs, so there will be not much to see in the screen. So what we're going to do now is just deploy a few jobs so that we can kind of look at more meaningful information. What we're going to do today is work with an example using chess data. It'll be players and then ratings. The first thing we'll do is we will populate the players in the database, and the second thing we will do is populate the ratings. Now with VDK, it's expected that you provide the data storage layers yourself. We are the data processing layer, and we will store the meta information about the jobs. But you read from your own databases or your own storage layers and write to your own storage layers. So what we're going to do is just install a Postgres instance where we will save the information. So here we are. Perfect. Here we've set up the Postgres in the server, the Kubernetes cluster, and now we're going to deploy a job. So to deploy jobs to VDK, you actually still need to use the CLI. So the first thing we're going to do is create the player's job in the cloud. So it's VDK create, team name, job name, and cloud. Now, if we look here, the job is created, but it's not yet enabled. It's not enabled because we haven't attached the source code to it. So next we'll just attach the source code. We just provide the folder where the config lives. Okay, so now what's happened is that we've pushed the code to the VDK control plane. What it needs to do now is take the SQL statements and the Python statements you've written and your dependencies and compile that into a Docker image that it can run like it will then be able to run as the data job. So when we look in Docker, we can actually see that taking place at the moment. Here we can see the builder running for this chess VDK player's job. And that should take a few minutes to complete. So I'm just going to skip ahead to when it's complete. So we can see here that the job has finished and now its deployment status is green. Build has finished. So here we can see obviously information about it, its status, the team owner, where the code lives in Git. And we can also execute the job from here. So I'm just going to execute an instance of the job. Now I'm going to just skip ahead till the job is complete. Okay, so we can see that the job is complete. From here, we can look at the deployment details. And we can also execute it again. It will keep a history of how long each operation takes. So here another one is scheduled for execution, and now we can see are the jobs getting, we will see trends in the jobs, like are they getting periodically faster or slower? Are the errors becoming more frequent or less frequent? So here we can see two successes, and one ran in 16.2 seconds and the other ran in 17.4 seconds. Now I'm just going to push the other job now, VDK ratings. So what I'm going to do is upload the ratings job, but I'm going to have it just throw an exception so that we can see how exceptions are handled in the UI. So I'll upload that and then skip ahead in the video. So I've now run that ratings job with the error, and as we can see, it reports that an error happened in the job, and that the success rate is 0%, and that we have one failed instance. Also on the getting started pages, there's an overview of all the failed jobs, which is very useful. I think that's all we're going to go through today. So hopefully you can see the benefits of the UI and how easy it is to get started with it. If you have any questions, please let me know.